Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today, we're going to work on neck scarves. With fall that has just arrived, and with the cold weather approaching, well, here up in the Great White North, I need something to help cover my neck, and I know a lot of people, wear toques and wear the jacket, but sometimes you need a little gap in between or something in between to help prevent that air, okay, or the cold wind to get in there. So I've come up with a way to use some chunks of polar fleece and some minky that I had here in the shop. Like this minky was donated from Jo Marie. She didn't want it leftover from her project, so she gave it to me. And of course, with minky and polar fleece, fluff gets everywhere, so just be warned. Get the vacuum out and you'll get itchy nose. All right, so what I did is I cut 24 inches long and 10 inches wide, and I did the same for my flannel, but you could also just use another piece of polar fleece if you like and put the flannel in between. Maybe if you've got really, really cold weather, or if it's just enough to keep the chill off your neck, it's up to you. I'm going to show you how to put this together in two different ways so you can figure out which way you like best, okay? There is the first way here where you're just going to go sew all the way around on the one side with the right sides together. First, you're going to put your loops together, and then you flip and turn the raw sides in and then do the seam. Or you can sew the sides together, leave a gap at the ends, and then you're just gonna flip and sew and flip and sew, all right? So either way, whatever works for you, okay? So this, hopefully I don't mess up my mic. Actually, let me just drop the mic because I dropped the mic for a second. Anyways, so this will go like this, okay? And this I can tuck it down underneath my jacket and then up here, and then I can also do this when it gets really cold and I'm waiting, my sunglasses on and I'm waiting for the buses to go or whatever, or walking the dog, that sort of thing. So get it, you can tuck it all in, you can tuck it in the bag, that sort of thing, as long as it gets over your head just fine. So what I did is I took my measurement of my beaner and I went, okay, so I'm like, 21 and a bit. So I have a small noggin. Yours may be 22, 18, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So just make sure you're adding a couple inches extra. So I went 24. So if it was 21 and a bit, I went 24, just to make sure I had that a little extra room to slip it over without any problems, okay? With something knitted, if you had something knitted, it would stretch a bit. So you could actually make it a little bit smaller and it would just like slide over your head like a little, sock sort of thing, right? Okay, so there's the one. And then I made a smaller one, 6 inches wide instead of 10 inches wide, or 8 inches wide. I'm sorry, did I do that? It was 8 inches wide, and same length, okay? So, whether you like it with the polar fleece in next to your neck or, the flannel out or whatever, and this just kind of comes right there. You know what I mean? It's just enough. So maybe for the small munchkins, make the smaller one, but, if you put it up like this, you're still going to have a little bit of gap here. That's why I made it a little bit longer, okay? Sorry if that was messing up the mic. I apologize, okay? And probably my hair, but who cares? All right. Okay, so that's the two that I made. Of course, I'm making Christmas gifts, and I'm trying to make gifts for people. I'm trying to think of ideas for, something for myself to keep my neck warm. And as I head towards this, cold winter. All right, so here's some of that minky backing. Actually, she used it as a backing for her quilt, and we did put batting in this too, and it turned out fantastic. It really did. So she gave me this big chunk that was left over, and I thought, you know what, I can make a few things with it, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make 2 more neck scarves, okay? Well, I may make some more, but this is what I'm going to make out of this one. So I cut this chunk right here, is 25 inches, and this is also 25 inches, okay? So, and then I'm going to make sure I have my 10-inch piece and my, I think this is a 6 one, so I made a smaller one, even for little munchkins, you can always make sure their necks stay nice and warm. So make, go with the size. That's 8, this one's 6, I'm making a few, so, okay? And some people may like it, up and bushy. They just want to, keep the gap. All right, so I'm going to get the 2 pieces cut out of here, the 8 and the 6, or the 10 and the 6, and we'll be able to make 2 more. So let's turn this way. I know this is a straight edge. You're going to have to remove your little tray to be able to go around the circle. Okay. And I did put my new blade on. We'll just line this up. Nice and smooth. Not too many floofs. move over 6 inches. And that'll be for the one with the little elephant. And then I want 10 inches for the stripe. And of course I could have done the stripes up and down. I did them across. It doesn't really matter. It's what I had left over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Here. And sorry, move that in the way for a moment, but I will move it out. Okay. And that's a little piece left over. Okay. So now for the one that I did the first time around, this one right here. Okay. You put your right sides together, and of course, you know, this either way could be a right side with this minky stuff. So I don't know. I kind of like, did I cut that one too short? Okay, I guess I'm making a shorter one. There we go. Or if you wanted to, you could have it so the flannel went over both sides, but we'll trim this one up considering I made a boo-boo. That's all right. Life is like that. It happens. All right, let's just trim it to size here. All right. All right. Now, you determine whatever you want as your right sides together. I kind of like the brighter dot, okay? And then what I did is I sewed these two together, to the right side, the right side together here, okay? And I just did down the seam. And then I did the same with this one here, okay? Like I said, there's 2 different ways you can build this up, probably more than just 2 different ways, but you know, I'll show you 2 different ways. And you could even just hand sew this. You could just like blanket stitch it all together if you wanted to. It could be a no-sew project. Okay, so down there and down there, and then we're going to fit these 2 circles together. Okay. Yes, be prepared to vacuum and lint brush when working with Minky and Polar Fleece. All right, so now we got those 2 together. We want to put the right sides together. So I'm going to turn one of these so the right side is out. And this one here. And I'm going to line up those 2 seams. You see how this one is the right side? That is the right side. I'm going to make sure I'm right-siding these 2 seams together. So one's just slipping inside the other, okay? Just like that, okay? And the right sides are together. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to line these up right there with the seams together and put a little pin with the seams and then make sure it fits all the way around. Okay. All sorts of ruckus today. Okay, just put your pins in all the way around, and then that's why you need to have your tray moved from the bottom so you can get all the way around. Okay, tell you when to hold on. Really, Clive? Really? All right. Come on. It's being a pain here. Okay, all right. Underneath the machine, and then just stitch all the way around a nice quarter inch seam allowance is all right. Your pins out as you go. Make sure you're getting the bottom and the top. Okay. And then come back around to the other stitches. Now, I find this the easiest way, but you know, you can do it a different way. So that's sewn all the way around on the one side. Okay, and you got both bits of fabric, everybody's in there. Now you take it, like I said, so everybody's in there. Take it and pull it out. And then you're just going to take and tuck the flannel So it's the right sides on the in and the right sides on the out, okay? And then just maneuver it around, wiggle and woggle it till it fits, okay? And then you're going to take this inside and fold it down about 1/4 of an inch, and take this one and fold it down about 1/4 of an inch, and then just do some pinning all the way around, okay? And then just sew it down, and that's what gives you that little edge on the bottom right there. So you can have that as the bottom, leave the top as that, or you can do a whole other edge all the way around. I mean, it's completely up to you how you want to finish it off. You could use the decorative stitches on your sewing machine. I'm not sure you'd be able to see most of them with the polar fleece, but you know, you could always give it a go. You never know. Okay, and then I find that if I put the pin in there where the stitch was, with the 1/4 inches folded down on either side, and then come halfway again to the opposite side, fold it down 1/4 of an inch, fold it in 1/4 of an inch-ish, you know, do the best you can. It's not always going to be 1/4, and then pin again. And then just work your way again to this halfway point, making sure to fold in that little bit of fabric, and fold in that little bit of fabric on that side. You got the polar or the micro or the, you know, the minky. I think this makes a nice soft neck scarf that you don't have to worry about it unraveling. It's nice and keeping your, and I sometimes use this and a scarf. Like I'll tuck it under and then layer the scarf, the ends of the scarf over my chest to make sure my chest stays nice and warm. You know, sometimes I have to deal with like minus 35 Celsius, right? So. Right, so just put a little pin. Like I say, you could use nice decorative thread, you could use a decorative stitch, you could do whatever. Okay, I want to flip that to the other side because I'm sewing on that side. Okay, all right. Do-do-do. Make sure you're tucked in there. Did you folded? You did a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to finish this one off. And you can get quite a few of these done in no time at all. It might be a good idea if you were doing like a fair or Christmas fair or something like that. This in Christmas colors, or you know, the fun prints that the kids love. You know, or you made a bunch of pajamas for the kids for Christmas, and you got a bunch of bits left over. Make them a matching neck scarf. Okay. And then stitch all the way around, and that's one done. And sometimes, you know, just before Christmas, there's lots of the caricatures, you know, prints that go on sale, whether it's flannel or polar, or, you know, you can even just plaid. Plaid would be nice. Okay, so there we go. Okay, all done. Beautiful. So whether you want it so with the minky is on the inside and it's nice and soft, there we go, sorry, that's the way I put it on, you know, nice and soft, or you can have it with the flannel on the outside. It's completely up to you. Okay, there we go. So that's one, and then we'll do the other one. Make sure they're the same length here. Da-da-da. Yes, they are. Okay, now this one I just went and put the right sides together. There we go. I like the brighter yellow there. Seems chipper. And then I just sewed down each side and stopped about half an inch away from the edges, okay? So just to make sure it's nice and straight, put a couple pins in. Okay, and that was just straight down on both sides. I'm sure you could probably find another 5 ways to put this together, but these are the 2 that I came across. So, all right, so about an inch, 2 inches away, because you got to be able to fold one of those sides under. Okay, and stitch all the way down. if you want, you could put someone's name on the center or put an initial or something like that. That would be kind of fun, you know, especially if you're, you know, all going to the ski hill. You can kind of spot their little neck scarf from a mile away if it's nice and bright with a little initial or a family initial in the center or something. Okay, now we'll do the other side. Okay, doo-doo-doo. You know, you can make them a little bit bigger and not so round, and you can make little handcuff. You know, what is the, is that a hand muffet? Is that it? I don't know. It's something. You know what I mean. Two. Fluff on my face. All right, now I'm gonna stop a little bit of ways. And then we take the little, just the little socky tube thing that we have there and just turn it right side out, okay? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make sure the outside edge is nice and clean. So I'm going to sew the outside edge to the right sides together, just like this. It's like just peeling back the little banana a little bit there and sew down this side. Oops. Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh boy, fun, fun, fun. It's one of those days, I guess. Got fluff everywhere. Okay, there we go. I'll put that there, and of course we all know it's better to do both of them. The bobbin and the top to reset, less frustration. Okay, let's try that again. Pull that thread out. Oh, lower pressure. Okay. So I wonder why it was beeping at me. Okay, so all the way down. Okay, and then you get just like that, okay? And then you take this part and you just fold it in, your 1/4 inch, fold this in. Whatever's going to make it fit. It may have to be a little bit more depending on how you've sewn it together. So, you know, and then just sew all the way down. Okay. There we go. And then we just tuck these little bits in. And sew across the top edge, or you can whip stitch it closed. It's completely up to you. If you didn't want any, you know, machine stitches on the top or anything like that, you could just easily whip it, stitch it shut. Tuck that under there. Sorry. And then the other side. And then just tuck it, fold it under, fold that little edge under, and then just zip it through the machine. Just to seal it up. Hey, Mr. Magoo. There we go. That's neck scarf number 4. Trim off the threads. And there we go. Perfect for just even someone who runs. You know, they don't want anything too much, just enough to cover that spot right underneath the chin, that sort of thing. Whatever size. I think whatever size it's you'll find that it's very useful. All right, take care, everybody. That is our weekend project, and hopefully you enjoyed it and you make one. Beware of the fluff. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.